Chiamaka fell to her knees, clutching her baby as she screamed, "Mama, what did you do to my son? Welcome to Tales by Steph, a home of interesting African stories." The Okechukwu mansion was a palace in Banana Island. White marble walls rose like a castle, the driveway lined with exotic cars. Rolls-Royce Cullinan, G-Wagon, and a custom Maybach that turned heads whenever it cruised through Ikoyi. Emeka Okechukwu, a billionaire in his 30s, was one of Nigeria's youngest oil servicing magnates. His company had international contracts in Dubai and London. Lagos gossip blogs called him Africa's golden son. But for Emeka, all the money in the world couldn't compare to his family. His wife, Chiamaka, a brilliant lawyer with a polished British accent, had given him their first son, Somtochukwu. The child was barely 7 months old, with dimples that melted hearts. Whenever Emeka came home, he would drop his designer briefcase, ignore business calls, and scoop his baby into his arms. "My prince," he would beam, kissing Somto's forehead. To outsiders, the family was untouchable. But inside the mansion, a storm brewed. Mama Ngozi, Emeka's widowed mother, had moved into the estate after Somto's birth. She was given a luxurious guest wing, a driver, and monthly allowances. Yet her heart carried shadows. She often sat by the poolside watching Chiamaka and the baby play. Instead of joy, her chest tightened. "Since this woman came, my son's eyes no longer see me. Everything is for her and this boy. What about me, his mother?" Her bitterness deepened, even though she enjoyed wealth she had never dreamt of. One night, as the household slept, Mama whispered into the darkness of her room, "If not for this child, my son would still give me everything. This boy is the chain tying him to that woman, and chains can be broken." The smile she wore the next morning was sweet, but behind it lay deadly intent. The first signs were subtle. Somto would fall sick mysteriously, vomiting, coughing, fever, whenever Mama fed him. Doctors at St. Nicholas and Lagoon Hospital ran endless tests but found nothing. "Your son is perfectly fine, madam," the pediatrician told Chiamaka. "This might just be normal baby stress." But Chiamaka wasn't convinced. She began noticing how Mama insisted on preparing Somto's meals. "Chiamaka, you're a career woman," Mama would say with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You can't kill yourself. Leave this boy with me." Sometimes, when Chiamaka refused, Mama would sulk loudly around the mansion. Emeka, caught in the middle, often pleaded, "Chiamaka, Mama just wants to help. Don't push her away, please." But the staff in the mansion whispered. The housemaid, Ifeoma, grew bold one evening. "Madam," she said nervously while ironing Chiamaka's clothes, "I don't want to lose my job, but sometimes I see Mama put powder inside Oga Somto's pop. I don't know what it is." Chiamaka's heart thudded. "Powder? What kind of powder?" "I don't know, madam. But each time the baby falls sick." "Okay, thank you for this information," Chiamaka said. That night, Chiamaka couldn't sleep. She turned to Emeka, but he waved it off. "Emeka, stop suspecting Mama. She has nothing to gain from hurting her grandson." Chiamaka sighed, burying her face in her pillow. But deep down she knew the truth. A war was coming. Mama's jealousy consumed her. In public she wore the mask of a doting grandmother. At church she bragged about her billionaire son. Among friends she flaunted the jewelry Chiamaka bought her. But in private she seethed. "Since that child came, I only get crumbs. I am his mother. If not for me, Emeka would not exist. How can this small boy take my place?" Her thoughts drove her to a herbalist in Ibeju, Lekki. The small shrine smelled of incense and dust. Baba Ota, the herbalist, eyed her carefully. "Mama Ngozi, what troubles you?" She lowered her voice. "I want my son back. Since that child was born, he has forgotten me. I want things the way they used to be." The herbalist studied her face. Are you asking me to remove the child?" Her silence was her answer. Baba Ota shook his head. The gods do not smile on greed. "But if you insist, sprinkle this black powder into the child's food. He will weaken and fade." She handed over a thick wad of cash, her hands trembling. "Do it. I will pay the price." That night she hid the pouch of powder beneath her wrapper. When she saw Somto sleeping peacefully in his golden crib, she whispered, "You are the thief of my peace. Tomorrow I will take mine back." The night Lagos glittered with parties, Death entered the Okechukwu mansion. Emeka had just returned from a London board meeting. Chiamaka was exhausted after hosting a charity event for widows. Mama volunteered to handle Somto's feeding. "Rest, my daughter," she said sweetly. "Leave this one to me." Against her instincts, Chiamaka agreed. In the nursery, Mama prepared the milk. She glanced around, then sprinkled the black powder into the bottle. Her lips curled. "Tonight, peace will return to me." She fed Somto, rocking him gently. At first, he drank eagerly, then his tiny chest began to heave. His coughs grew violent, his lips turned pale. "Mama!" "What's wrong?" Chiamaka screamed, rushing in. Panic spread. Emeka dashed upstairs, scooped the baby, and shouted for the driver. They sped through the midnight streets to Lagoon Hospital. Doctors battled to save the child. Tubes, injections, oxygen, everything failed. By dawn, Somto's lifeless body lay still. Chiamaka's screams pierced the hospital corridors. "My son! My son!" Emeka stood broken, his billion-dollar empire meaningless in that moment. Mama pretended to cry, but deep down she sighed with relief. "Now Emeka will return to me." But Lagos whispers are sharp, and truth always finds light. The burial was swift but grand. Politicians, celebrities, and tycoons filled the village square. Newspapers carried the story. Billionaire's only son dies mysteriously. But the whispers began. "Did you notice how calm Mama was? She never liked that baby. Chiamaka should be careful." Not every grandmother is sweet. Grief consumed Chiamaka, but suspicion gave her restless strength. She began watching Mama closely. One afternoon, while searching for a document in Mama's room, she found a leather pouch under the bed. Inside were cowries, herbs, and a paper with Somto's name written. Her blood ran cold. She rushed to confront Ifeoma again. "Tell me the truth. What exactly did you see that night?" Ifeoma wept. "Madam, I saw Mama pour something into Somto's bottle." I swear Chiamaka's hands shook as she held the pouch. That night she showed Emeka. He broke down, torn between denial and horror. "No, Mama can't. Not my own mother." The next morning, elders of the family gathered. Emeka confronted his mother in front of them, holding the pouch. "Mama, did you kill my son?" Mama's face twitched. At first, she denied it. But when pressed harder, her voice cracked. "Yes, I did it," she screamed. "That boy stole you from me. You forgot your mother because of a child and his mother. I gave birth to you. Everything you have is because of me. Why should I suffer while you give all to them?" Gasps filled the room. Chiamaka wept uncontrollably. Emeka staggered back, collapsing into a chair, his hands over his face. The elders shook their heads in disgust. Some demanded she be handed to the police. Others said banishment was enough. Emeka, broken, whispered, "Leave her to the gods. No punishment we give will equal what she deserves." From that day, Mama's life became empty. No one in Lagos society spoke to her. She was removed from her women's association. Market women refused to sell to her. Children ran at her sight. She became a ghost in her own son's mansion, until one day she quietly packed her things and left. Rumors spread that she roamed from shrine to shrine, begging for forgiveness. Others claimed she lived in isolation, speaking only to herself. But Emeka and Chiamaka rebuilt their lives. Though scarred, they channeled their pain into Somto Foundation, funding children's hospitals and orphanages. At every event, Chiamaka's words echoed, "Greed destroys." Sometimes the hand that rocks the cradle also digs the grave. And in Nigeria's wealthy circles, the tale became a chilling proverb. Not every grandmother's kiss is love. Sometimes it hides poison. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment for more unique stories.